You already know what I do. Every single Self-Made Sunday, I drop me a song and a visual, man. This month, produced by this man right here. All facts. Peace. Love.
Say I'm spitting all facts. Stay real until I'm gone. Had to do it on my own from my throne. Yeah, these niggas all cap. Claiming they wanna see you win, but they cross you in the end. It's pretend.
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Landis, bro. We back with another Self-Made Sunday, bro. This month I got me a rapper and a producer. One of the coldest in the city, man. Y'all don't want to miss this one, bro. Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Atlantis, and we back with another Self-Made Sunday. And I got right here my dog. Cush With A C. What's happening, bro?
We in this joint. Bro,
just to give y'all just a small context, man. Been knowing bro for a minute, man. Been doing music, been making beats, been killing shit, you know. And just to see you fast forward all the way to now, it's just like crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna let my boy introduce himself, man. Tell the people who you is, man.
Yeah, man. Cush With A C. You know, rapper, producer, curator. You know, just putting it all together, man. So, absolutely.
All right, for sure, man. How long you been doing it again?
Well, so, you know, even back in high school, you know, it was kind of those early days of Fruity Loops and playing around with beats or, you know, downloading instrumentals from LimeWire or, you know what I mean? It was that, you know, so that's 06, 07, you know, but kind of took a break and popped back in about like 2018, 2019. So about 7-8 years seriously, and these last few like really been locked in at a different level.
What was do you know why you was like you took that break? Do you know why you was like let that marinate?
Nah, for sure. I think it was like one of them points in life where, you know, as like a 16, 17-year-old kid, I didn't really know like what my path was gonna be. You know what I mean? I feel like I was just trying things. Definitely always had a love for the music, like even from the time I was a kid. You know, I tell this story sometimes, like my grandma used to like play the radio and she would just play like all different genres, like country music, rock music, rap music. So she would tell me sometimes like sing a rock song, and I would like sing a rock song or sing a country song. So that was always kind of like my furthest back origin of like listening to records on vinyl or listening to cassette tapes, you know, having the radio in the crib or the vinyl player in the crib. And so that foundation was always there. But I ended up going to college. I didn't want to go to college, but like my parents was on the you gotta do something right.
You can't be just sitting.
Yeah.
Wow, facts.
And so I was basically from damn near like 18 to, you know, figuring out about jobs and things like that. I was really in college for a minute, bro, and ended up stumbling into like some journalism type vibes, and just kind of wasn't even worried about music, you know. But at like 2018, 2019,
did you have a vision for yourself then? Like not even thinking about the music, But you had like a whole other life set for yourself?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I definitely thought like ESPN might be the play.
Yo.
Like I most definitely thought like ESPN might be the play, or, you know, that world, you know, Sports Illustrated. I was always a cat who I don't want to say collected magazines, but like I definitely was subscribed to, you know what I'm saying, Sports Illustrated, Slam magazine, you know what I mean? Even something like East Bay magazine, you know what I mean, with the kicks and everything. I always was a cat who was like reading magazines and would love to even like go to the bookstore and grab like old used magazines and stuff like that. So I could have seen myself being like a true sports journalist. Like I said, I did it for years and even ended up doing some stuff for like the Dallas Morning News and different things like that. So it just kind of was a thing where I ended up getting into public relations for a minute. And some people have like no idea about this, you know? But
Okay. So you was finna just...
yeah. And I had like my own little spot. I had a little whip. I had like a little shorty that I thought might be, you know?
Yeah.
And I had a homie pull up to my crib and he was just like, bro, you ever be rapping? Like, he knew me from high school.
Yeah.
And he was like, you ever be rapping still? And I was like, you know, I feel like I could, but I don't. But like every once in a while I might go on YouTube and put in like J. Cole type beat or something, you know,
Yeah.
pull up a little shout out Yondo if you if you was on YouTube searching J. Cole beats about 9 to 10 years ago, you probably had a Yondo joint, you know. And so basically bro literally recorded me for like a month. We was just like in the closet at my apartment, just like recording quick ideas and stuff. And that was maybe like August of 2018.
Do you think that was the moment that you was just like, or let's say after that month, let's say after that month, you listening back, you like, yo man, niggas still got it.
Yeah, like I knew there was something going on, and it was dope because like at the time I wasn't just rapping, I was like trying like melodic shit. So I was like doing shit with like auto-tune and like damn near singing the whole track and all type. So versatility was always something that I felt like I had. Like I never felt like I was a one act artist or whatever. You know what I mean? And so by like Black Friday of that year, I had like went and grabbed my own laptop at Best Buy. I remember because it was like a Black Friday special on the, you know?
Like, yeah, gotta come up.
That's the real of it though. You know, that's the story, bro. And so literally like that next year, linked up with Maurice, who we both know, you know.
Shout out Mo.
Yeah,
Mo
shout
Money,
out Mo.
you feel me?
Essential Aesthetics, you know what I mean? And definitely ended up doing like a little video to a joint. That was like February. And by like that summer, I had dropped like my first project. So yeah, like literally within like probably about 8 months, something like that.
But wait, what's the name of it again?
The Balancing Act.
Yes, that's what the Balancing Act. That's what it was called.
The Balancing Act.
He had like the little red shirt.
Yeah, yeah, man. So that was, you know, 25, 26 years old. You know what I mean? So
was there in that moment? Do you think you picked up something that maybe you learned about yourself?
I'll say that I think there's been like a few different times in my life where I did something that didn't necessarily make 100% sense to everybody else, but it made sense to me.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to. It's not. We don't care about what they talk about. Like the vision came to you,
right?
You know what I mean?
And so I think just having the courage to stand on whatever my decision was going to be, whether it was even way back then, like leaving college or leaving a certain job or not doing this or, you know, however you're making your bread or whatever, like it's not always going to make sense to everybody. And, you know, but yeah, I think maybe that's what came to me during that time was like almost in a weird way doing it like the cookie cutter way.
Yeah.
I felt like something was missing, and I truly had a moment where I was like, I don't want to look back and wonder what if.
That's a fact.
Like I genuinely said to myself, like, if I look back on my life and I never gave music a shot, like I got goosebumps right now, you know? Because like if I look back on my life and I never gave music a shot, I felt like I would have felt a way about that. And so, and then this is when I was really probably like the most stable I had ever been in my life. Like I wasn't in a bad spot.
Right.
But I knew like I wanted something different.
Something meaningful.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So that was literally during that time, bro.
No, that's hard. All right, so during that time, like I think you said the month. In that month, like I just want to go back.
Yeah.
Bit. In that month, was that the moment that you was like, I'm gonna take this shit for real, or was it up after you dropped your first album that you were saying? Because like I'm just thinking about cause and effect. Like, had you not had that moment in
yeah. I get what you're saying. It's funny because like looking back, you can look at certain decisions you made, like whether it was paying $1,000 for this video right here or paying for this photo shoot or whatever, and you can be like, bro, I had no music out at all. Like, how did I even work up the like ambition or whatever to be like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna plan this photo shoot with no real like
no plan,
no connections, I didn't even like, I don't think I even knew I was dropping an album when I was like doing videos. Like the videos I shot didn't even make it on the album or whatever, you know what I mean?
That is so true.
But whereas now I'm a little bit more calculated. Like if I'm shooting, it's probably because it's gonna be a part of this project that I got planned for April and all of that. But yeah, bro, definitely feel like during that time, if nothing else, there were certain records where I felt like, just from a rap perspective, like, oh yeah, like I came to the gym to play today.
Yeah.
And I think I definitely had nights where I kind of said to myself, like, if I'm gonna be doing this, I really wanna hoop. To make that analogy, like I don't, if I'm not going like be ready to like really hoop, I'm just not going to the gym. But like if I'm going to the gym, like I want to be on that. You know what I mean? And so definitely during that time, like just from the raps themselves, like aside from wanting to reach other people and things like that, just for what I was doing, and as time progressed, different things just like started to happen, like right before COVID and all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like I started to make, like just little connections in the city, popping out at certain events and things like that. And kind of just was perfect because then during COVID, it kind of allowed me to like develop in private.
Having that, a lot of people are really scared to face themselves.
Yeah.
And I think you being alone, like a lot of people that don't want to be alone with themselves, like, that's a problem. Like, you gotta be cool with yourself. Man.
Yeah.
So having that, we was all cooped up.
Yeah.
For COVID.
Yeah.
So
me and the homies, I was just talking to one of my homies earlier today, like, we be having the mirror moments.
Yeah.
And like if you search the word mirror in my text threads, like mirror pops up a lot. Like mirror is a thing that me and my homies always discussing, like just being able to look at the man in the mirror and had those tough conversations, had those positive conversations, be able to make it through the any type of like negative self-talk, all of that, bro.
True accountability for real.
Yeah.
True. No, that's hard, bro. That's hard. All right, so take me after the first album. How did you feel at that moment? Was it just like, all right, this album is dope? Was it after? I remember you had a release party for it. Was it after the release party? There was like the energy that you was getting.
Yeah.
Is that what made you like keep going or what?
Yeah.
Like talk.
Well, the craziest thing is the album you talking about is called Nothing's Perfect. So that was like 2021.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
Oh, yeah, that is me. That's me.
So, but with the balancing act and stuff, I didn't really even. I don't know, bro. Like when the balancing act dropped, I might have had like 400 followers or something crazy. Like I didn't even have an IG until 2019.
Okay, so my bad.
You good?
Let me go back then.
Yeah.
After the balancing act.
Yeah.
And you didn't see nothing. What kept you
right? I think you know how sometimes when you're creating, you'll have like an album done, but then you'll be working on new music, and there's kind of a weird feeling where it's like, I'm about to drop this, but they don't even know, like my next shit, like this latest stuff I've been cooking up is even crazier than that, And so I had never even been to a proper studio when the balancing act dropped.
Yeah, that was all you.
Yeah.
Like,
that was the garage band Cush. You know what I mean? And so, just spending more time actually like pulling up to studios, meeting people, meeting engineers, meeting different artists, kind of popping out on the scene as well. So starting to go to like local events. Like I remember John Doe had a show in like probably like 2019, bro. And I pulled up and met like John Doe, like Bando, like Coach Tev, like a few different people. And that was kind of like my first, off the strength of Maurice too. Like Maurice, truthfully, is my entry to the Dallas music scene. Like a lot of my first connections were off the strength of Maurice. And my trust of him and like, okay, we rocking. And that was probably like around the time that I even like reconnected with you for the first time. You know what I mean? So I feel like when I pulled up to like a Vibes Texas event or a Auditory Aura event or a Das Glue event. Shout out Narco. You know what I mean? Like that was that time. You know what I mean? And just popping up to those types of events and things made it to where I made connections with, like I said, like the Coach Tevs of the world, the Debbie Stones, you know what I mean? Those connections. And pretty much all the way leading up to like right before COVID hit, we were just ended up kind of doing slight work with folks. But even like that joint called Freaknik, it's like me, Coach Tev, Debbie Stones, and Cyrock Split.
That was hard. Y'all
so that's the first song I've ever gotten mixed.
Oh, like for real?
So like before that, I never mixed the song. So like March 2020, I guess, was like the first song I ever dropped. It was like truly like properly mixed. You know what I mean? Like I tried to get something mixed, but I like exported the files wrong or something. You know what I mean? So, but literally the Freaknik joint dropped like a week before COVID popped off. So it was kind of a thing where, like I said, I did like just enough networking and connecting in the city for like that year that I had before COVID popped. Like I was basically on the scene in Dallas for like maybe a year, if you want to call it that. And
but you was like making waves though that first year though, like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder, how was you keeping yourself afloat within that time? Like you're getting real good traction. You really on the scene. Really, people really know who Cush With A C is.
Yeah.
How was you taking care of everything else though, as far as like funding? How was you? I know at one point like you had that job, but then you said So really, talk about that, Marcel.
Yeah. So I done had times where I was like working overnights. So I would like be pulling up to an event. I would be performing at 10:45 and then going to work from midnight to 8 a.m. You know what I mean? Off a couple Red Bull vodkas or whatever. You know what I mean?
To make it happen, bro.
Yeah, like nobody knows all the little, details of how boys made it happen, or you seen this outfit I had on, but you don't know what I had to, you know what I mean? You don't know how I had to put this together or whatever, you know what I mean? And so, I forgot the question, but
no, about funding.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, bro, like I tell people all the time, bro, like I used to do audits. So I would just audit myself like maybe like once a year or something like that. And it definitely started to be a thing where those audits were starting to add up of like thousands upon thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? I remember there was a point in time where I was saying to myself, like, if I can just invest $1,000 a month into this, like this is what I want to do. I want to save $1,000 a month and try to push it towards this or whatever, But all of a sudden you add up, boys start traveling, you know what I mean? Doing videos in Arizona and doing things in Florida and taking trips to LA and, you know what I mean? Renting out venues and renting out.
And you realizing like, I really got to like have some bread for this.
Renting cars and everything, So, I mean, I don't even want to like overshoot, but to be honest, like at this point, like probably, no joke, like probably close to 100 invested. Like if we count all the shoes and clothes and cars and venues and videos and photographers and models and sessions, engineers.
Over the course of half a decade.
Beats.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 2018 to today, like real close to 100 put in for sure.
Yeah, nah.
You know?
But you reaping them black. You reaping it back. So,
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Nah, for sure.
So that makes me want to know why you was making all that happen for yourself. Like, was there any point of like uncertainty, and then you had to switch up the mindset?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's. I guess it almost depends on like how literal you want to take like uncertainty almost, you know what I mean?
No, like for real. Like at one point you was just like, was there any type of uncertainty?
For sure. I mean, definitely I definitely think there was moments of like questioning, am I doing this right? You know, more than like questioning myself. Mm-hmm. I think it was more just like, okay, this song is hard. Like, am I doing my content the right type of way? Mm-hmm. Or like, I remember early in my career, I used to like always ask like random people in the industry, like, yo, if I just got like $2,000, like, what's the best way to like, you know what I mean? I feel like that was like my most asked question early in my career. So it was more of like, and then even starting to ask like, damn, is 2,500 like not enough to really do anything, or like what it, like, you know? So then having that question of like, do I have enough funding, or like where do people get funding from, or you know, and just making sure the goals were there too. Like I said, I started out kind of just as a free flow. Like, I don't think I really had a goal when I first dropped. You know, I don't think I really necessarily had a specific goal with like the balancing act. You know what I mean? Where
do you think it was just pure off joy?
For the love of the game.
The love of the game, yeah.
For the love of the game, for sure. Yeah. For the love of the game. Like, I was on some shit where the fact that I dropped
was fire. Like,
okay, this is like, me and some of the homies talk about it to this day. Like, when you go to, and it sucks because like we should feel this way about our own music regardless, but there is something about like people being able to go on Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and all the different streaming platforms and things and tap into your music. Obviously, that's partially the doing of some the powers that be that kind of get us to feel that way. But like, even now, I'll tell people like I make music or whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you on Spotify? Like, are you on Apple Music?" And I'm like, "You think I'm a joke, bro?
You think I'm just out here?
What you think I'm, you know?" So I think at that point it was just that. But then like I don't know where we're going next, but that you had mentioned like a listening party. Yeah, that was like 2021.
Yes.
So by that time, coming out of COVID, I had just like made a few connections in the city where people were willing to like invest in what I had going on. So they were like willing to like say like, yo, I got this venue over here. Like I can help you with the booking agents, or you know what I mean? I had like engineers and producers and things of that I was now working with. So it was like the development that I was able to do in private during 2020 made it to where like when I popped out for 2021, like I was able to really
talk to niggas.
Yeah.
Talk to niggas now, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact, bro. So it sounded like, yeah, there was some type of uncertainty, but not really.
That's funny because that came from uncertainty. But I mean, it was nights. You know, like I joke with people when I be sometimes as a producer, I'll tell people like we need to do like prompt raps. And it basically just means like this is a song called Days. So like all you gotta do is say, I had days, da 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 da. I had days. And I'm like, bro, you better be able to do that. Like if you can't rap about days, because I'm like, I know you had days. You know what I mean? Like you know I had nights. Like so I tell him, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna always be able to do a song called Nights, because I done had plenty nights.
Bro, plenty, bro.
You know, so but yeah.
So since there wasn't, how I'm looking at it, like it was uncertainty, but it really wasn't. Though. How
Yeah.
like, you're always gonna anyway. But what at that point, what kept you going then?
Yeah.
After that listening party, and then we can even fast forward a little bit more. Like you drop more projects.
Yeah,
you drop more EPs. You drop more.
Yeah.
So like, what really kept you keeps you going? Honestly,
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna stop. Like so.
Yeah. I do think that wanting to be great, if not the greatest, is like a specific distinction that everybody doesn't have. Like, not everybody is here to truly be great. Like, some people are like, yo, I'm just here to have some fun, bro. If I can get a quick little bag, like if I can just enjoy myself, maybe
I'm good.
Grab a couple shorties up, you know what I mean? Get you know, but not necessarily saying like I care to be like thought of as one of the best, you know? And so for me, like I said, I do a lot of like basketball analogies and things like that. And I've always approached it from a standpoint of like, if you came to the game today, I want you to be able to say like, hey, number 4 right there, like he has something going. Like I want you to remember the time you came to a game and saw me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So same with the music. Like I want people to be able to, you know, listen, put on the music, or whether they came to a show or whatever, like that night of that listening party or whatever is like a night that people remember. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And that was like part of what made me keep going, was I want to keep making a song that's going to be timeless. Like, we're in 2026 now. We're talking about things from 2018, 2021 or whatever. 5 years later, like we're almost 5 years to the day, I think, from like that.
Still holding value.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I definitely think just timeless things that hold value for a long time, and kind of parlaying one thing into another, even kind of starting to figure out things about like merch, or, you know, selling CDs, or putting stuff on vinyl, which is something that I recently was able to do. But just, yeah, bro, just kind of everything leading to the next thing almost. Like I wanted to take what I learned from each project and kind of like apply it to the next almost, you know?
Hard, bro. Because that's the only way you're going to get better, though.
Yeah.
So it's the only way you're going to get better. Now, from where you at now, like, do you enjoy the space you're in right now?
Yeah.
Clarity?
Yeah, for sure.
If there's anything, since you got that clarity, is there anything that you would give your like, go back to that 2018? Is there anything that you would give Cush?
Yeah. I think I tell people, like, it's funny because it's kind of metaphorical, but like you can freestyle. Like I can freestyle. Like I feel pretty confident when I'm freestyling.
Yeah.
But there is also something important about writing things down on paper.
Yes.
And it's kind of like a metaphor for life as well. Like literally, sometimes you can just be like not writing down all your bills, or not writing down your schedule. Like some people don't use a calendar. They just like, oh, bro said Wednesday, so Wednesday, you know? But then whenever I live my life, I've lived my life both ways. Like I've lived my life no calendar, not really writing anything down. And I'm like, I know my rent due on the 1st, and I know my car note due on the 27th or whatever. But whenever you really write everything down, and really make that like a daily habit even. Like some people feel like that may be unhealthy to like write everything down every single day. But I think that allowed me to stay focused. I talk to people about how sometimes you can like zoom out the camera lens, but sometimes you got to zoom in that joint. And I think spending a lot more time like zoomed in has allowed me to treat every day with a certain level of importance. You know, like literally from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. Whereas if I'm freestyling, it's almost like we could do this till 5 a.m. and there's no tomorrow almost, you know, which is dope too. Like there's some very dope nights that have come from that style of approach. But the style of approach where it's like, yo, when I go into the session intentionally, because I know I gotta slide at 2 because tomorrow I got this going on. You know what I mean? Just being mindful and it kind of almost makes each session count even more. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I'm almost able to give my all in a different type of way. I tell people sometimes I think freedom, it has its pros and cons, you know, but it almost forces you to lock more in.
Yeah. Nah, like there's no way. Like you have to. Like you literally have to.
Yes.
You have to. All right, so I'm gonna switch it a little bit, man, because since we're here, you know, this is Self-Made Sunday. Man.
Yeah.
I gotta know. The people gotta know the term self-made. Like, what would it mean to Cush?
Man, I know we talked a little bit earlier about just as long as it makes sense to you, it doesn't always have to make sense to others.
Yeah.
I would say like almost my dreams are self-made. Almost. You know, what I'm doing is self-made. Like from a standpoint of it's my idea, if that makes sense. Like what made sense to me was self-made in a weird way. You know what I mean? Definitely, I know sometimes people may hear self-made and think like, what, you didn't have a team or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. People may interpret it in their own different ways, but I definitely would say for me, just like kind of sticking to my script.
Yeah.
And sometimes people almost want to follow the lead of like someone else or like some other script, but when it's you and your dreams and your life that you're planning out and everything, I definitely feel like it's important to make sure that like you're following the script that has your name at the top of that joint. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because that's all that counts. Like I tell people, even with the music, if I drop something and then I'm like, well, my brother said this is hard, and then like nobody rocks with it, I don't get to be like, well, my brother said it was hard. You know what I mean? Like it's like I gotta take the
the good with the bad.
Yeah,
You got you.
So it's like this, even like music I've been getting mixed recently has been stuff where I'm like, this made me cry when I was recording it or whatever. You know what I mean? And that is a trophy in itself before anything. Yeah. Even music that's like the hardest shit we've got or whatever, kind of has me from a mindset of like, I know how I feel about this, regardless of how anybody feels about this. And that is kind of something that I feel is self-made. Like that feeling is one that you can only get from yourself, you know?
Okay. I got a couple more for you, and then we gonna be up out this piece.
Yeah.
You've done many projects. You've produced many projects. Starting with yourself, what would be your favorite project that you've made, and why?
Yeah.
I know you got multiple.
Yeah. That's a. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know if anybody's ever really asked me that in a weird way. And you know, people always say it's like naming your favorite kid or whatever, you know what I mean? But I know some people that be like, but my, you know, Junior is, you know.
Like shit.
But nah, bro, I will say though that
yeah, I know, man. He got a lot of projects.
I'll say this in an extremely humble sense.
Yeah. I feel like I know what you're finna say. Hit that up. Hit that up.
I genuinely think that like my next project might be my best one.
Oh, okay. I wasn't ready for that. I thought he was gonna be like all of them. Like,
Yeah. But I genuinely feel like my best work is in front of me still. You know what I mean? I really feel like I've learned and, you know what I mean, picked up this from this and this from that and stuff. And I definitely feel like I will say that the fact that I'm able to like listen back and it's like, okay, in 2020, the records from 2018 were the 2-year-old records. But now it's like 2026. So then 2024 records are the ones that are like, oh, this 2 years old. You know, you said something to somebody and you're like, it's 2 years old. Well, those records that are like this 2 years old,
timeless.
They starting to sound like something. You know what I mean? And so I hit up like producers that I've worked with all the time. I try not to just overwhelm myself with like listening to my own music, especially like my music that's already out.
Yeah.
But I'll have random days. I might just be driving down the road on Apple Music and just today I'm playing some Cush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll just text my homies or producers, people that are on the projects, whatever, and be like, "Hey, bro, this one right here, like this joint sound good on January, January 2026 or whatever. You know what I mean?" So yeah, bro.
No, that's and then all right. So we already got the rapping side. That's
yeah.
what you got to come.
Yeah.
Now what about your beats?
Yeah.
Like what's your favorite project? And I know you've produced for a lot of people in the city. In the city, bro.
Yeah.
But what would be? I ain't gonna say your favorite.
Yeah. But
like, give us one project you was like, man, that meant something.
Well, to be honest, something that I mentioned a little bit ago, but I've now produced at least one song for over 100 artists. Like I literally went through one day and I just like made a list of everybody.
Y'all better tap in, bro. Y'all better tap in.
Yeah, but literally like just made a list of like everybody that I know for sure I have at least one track with, like whether it be demos or whatever.
Yeah.
But it literally I wrote down every person I could think of, and that was just who I could think of, you know.
Yeah. So that it could be more.
It could be more, but literally like 100 artists. But there's a guy from Austin named Jay Soldier. He has his own platform, the Smokeout ATX, the Pre-Roll ATX, and
hey, shout out to Jay Soldier, man, for real.
He was just given a day by the city of Austin. Yeah.
That's hard.
So there's like Jay Soldier Day in the city of Austin.
Oh, that's hard.
And
that's hard.
They called that like a proclamation. So I fully produced a project for him called The Proclamation that released as in honor of that.
Yes.
And that's on vinyl as well. So that was like an accomplishment just as a kid. Like I said, I started out like listening to my grandma playing the Beach Boys, you know what I mean? The Beatles, and you know what I mean? The Rolling Stones on vinyl. So to like have something I produced on vinyl is like
hard,
if we saying moments, you know what I mean?
That's one of them.
Yeah, that was one of them for sure. For sure.
I know you say you got your album coming up. Yeah. I would assume that's an album coming up, saying that your best stuff is it's for the drop. Like that's your best stuff. So, since we already know that, I would just honestly say, man, before we get up out of here, like please, like if you had any advice to give any artist, producer, anybody in the space, anything like that, like what would your advice be? Yeah, I would say that things feeling good or feeling right to you is extremely important. So before you ask anybody like how they feel about this or how this sound to them or whatever, like I almost would encourage people to have their own feeling about it before anybody else can even be involved in having a feeling about what you got going or whatever. You know what I mean? I think sometimes when there's kind of like the too many chefs in the kitchen analogy. Yeah. Like, not saying you can't get help and shit like that, but if you say, today we cooking up hibachi, today we cooking up hibachi, like that's it. That's it. And if you start letting people be like, oh, well, what vegetables we use, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just skirt. Yeah, we cooking up hibachi. To circle back to even like the Jay Soldier thing, we kind of got like a project we're working on. It's called Burger Boys. And pretty much I came up with this theory one night. I was really talking to my brother about like, you heard of grifts? Yes.
The burger spot. So I was telling him, I was like, bro, some of my favorite burger spots, they don't have wings in them joints. Like, they just got burgers. Like, they ain't got catfish. They ain't got Henny glaze. You know what I mean?
Multiple options.
Tilapia and so what I was telling them was, like, as far as this music goes, bro, like, if you tapping in with us, like, we cooking burgers, fam. And, like, if you want the Hennessy glazed salmon, like, it's some spots around this joint where you can go grab them joints. If you want the hot lemon pepper wings, you can grab them joints. But, like, if you pulling up over here, like, we cook burgers, fam. You know? So that's definitely become my approach to, like, this music shit, is, like, me being okay with, like, doing what I do.
Yeah.
And not having to be like, I'm going to chase the sound of what's, like, trendy right now. I know you and your wife are foodies as well. So the analogy comes through. But yeah, that would be my main thing, would be, like, not chasing trends really, and more so being locked in on, like, yo, fam, we've been cooking some solid burgers around this joint. Let's just stick to the script, you know what I mean? Stick to the menu, you know what I mean?
Hey, man. Yo, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This has been a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, my dog. Yes,
no
sir.
Cow, bro.
07 to 2026, man.
Hey.
So next year we 20 years in next year.
No, that's it's gonna be all love. It's been all love, man, and it's gonna be more love, more prosperity.
Yeah.
Hey, man, well, you already know what I do. Every single Self-Made Sunday, I drop me a song and a visual, man. This month, produced by this man right here. All facts. Peace. Love.